everyone. I'm Dr. Patricia Grady, the Director of the National Institute of Nursing Research, and I'm very happy to welcome you all here today. It's a pleasure to be able to spend 2 days with you discussing this important topic. I'm welcoming you to the Science of Caregiving, bringing voices together. As we begin today, I first want to acknowledge our partners for this event, the NIH Institute centers and offices that have helped to make this possible, the National Cancer Institute, the National Institute on Aging, the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, the National Institute on Minority Health and Health Disparities, the National Center for Advancing Translational Sciences Office of Rare Diseases Research, the NIH Office of Behavioral and Social Science Research, the NIH Office of Disease Prevention, and the NIH Office of Research on Women's Health. We thank all of them very much for their participation and for their partnering with us. I would also like to acknowledge the support and contributions made possible by the Foundation for the National Institutes of Health, with generous support through them from the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, the Oncology Nursing Society, the Beckman Research Institute City of Hope, Department of Population Sciences, Division of Nursing Research and Education, and the Honor Society of Nursing, Sigma Theta Tau International. So these contributors not only demonstrate the tremendous interest in this topic here at the NIH and across the United States, but also the fact that caregiving is a topic that touches so many different areas of our lives. We thank everyone for their contributions to this event and for their continued interest as we move forward. We're particularly grateful to Ms. Judy Woodruff, who is currently making her way through security on campus, but she's serving as the summit's keynote speaker. We're honored that she has agreed to join us today to share her personal experiences as a caregiver and also to set the stage for our conversations over the next 2 days. We thank also all of the presenters who have taken time out from their busy schedules coming to Bethesda from across the country and some from out of the country, and all of you in the audience, both here in the room and those of you online watching. We believe this will be a truly special event. Because more people are living longer with chronic conditions, the management of chronic conditions is shifting from formal healthcare settings and healthcare providers to settings where individuals and their families and the communities are handling and incorporating the care of such individuals. So it's now we're moving from the more formal institutions into the community. There's increasing evidence that the responsibilities of caring for family members and friends can have a significant negative impact on the health of informal caregivers. Evidence also shows that poor health among caregivers can translate into worse health for the care recipient. Through research, we can better understand the needs of patients and caregivers and develop new ways to improve health outcomes for the recipients, while also improving the health and quality of life for their caregivers. That's why we're here today and tomorrow. Stress, depression, and insomnia are often cited as the most frequent significant negative influences on caregiver health. Living with care recipient can affect healthy sleep and eating habits. Also, muscle strain and musculoskeletal injury from caregiving activities and caregivers' neglect of their own health, such as diet and physical exercise, can also have a severe impact. Half of caregivers report living with at least one chronic condition, and approximately the same percent report that their declining health affects their caregiving abilities. In the transition from institutional to home care, informal caregivers are vulnerable to high levels of stress from feelings of inadequate knowledge about the disease or condition and the resources for providing care, as well as lack of confidence and skills training in conducting post-discharge care. More research could improve coordination of care, caregiver education, and preparation for home care responsibilities. Several effective interventions have been developed to improve formal caregiving knowledge, self-efficacy, physical health, and coping, and also to reduce burden, distress, anxiety, and depression. These beneficial outcomes are similar across many conditions, such as patients with dementia, cancer, stroke, and heart failure, suggesting that the potential for standard interventions that can be tailored to specific conditions, and cultural backgrounds. Also, interventions that target caregiver strain and psychosocial health could also contribute to possible outcomes in care recipients' health and quality of life. Caregiving and caregiver health have received significant attention by the federal government and also by the research and healthcare and policy communities. For instance, caregiver health was the topic of the 2014 National Nursing Research Agenda, the roundtable which examined the research on biological, behavioral, and social underpinnings of caregiver health, explored the application of research findings, and also discussed how the science might inform caregiver health and influence health policy. The White House Council on Aging held a caregiving summit in the summer of 2015. The National Academy of Medicine completed a study and released a report in September of 2016 entitled Families Caring for Aging Americans. We're pleased that several members of the study committee, Dr. Sarah Chaya, Laura Gitlin, Jennifer Wolfe, and Heather Young, are joining us for this summit. Now, because nursing professionals have had a long-term focus on improving the health and quality of life for caregivers, nursing and nursing science community is poised to design, test, and implement innovative caregiver health interventions in combination with their partners and in clinical and community settings. Caregiver health has long been a priority for NANR, and we have, since the very early years of the Institute, have worked with, in particular with the National Institute on Aging, co-sponsoring the resources for enhancing Alzheimer's care health, a study which has now been incorporated by several government agencies beyond NIH in order to try to implement that in the community. We've also supported the development of toolkits for informal caregivers of patients with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias to improve recognition, evaluation, and management of new or increasing behavioral symptoms. This summit offers a rare opportunity, having this level and collection of expertise from diverse disciplines and stakeholders in the same room at the same time with the same purpose. Today, we will be hearing about the current issues and challenges in caregiving and the process and opportunities for changing caregiving through research and evidence-based policy. Tomorrow, we will address caregiving research across the lifespan and a range of health conditions. Thank you again, all of you, for joining us for this summit. Caregiving is a topic that has a profound impact on the lives of so many in our nation and across the globe. Whether you're a parent caring for a child with a chronic condition, or you're an individual with a chronic condition, depending on your child to assist you with daily living, the issues, the challenges, the opportunities we will discuss here over the next 2 days, we hope will someday lead to better health and quality of life for you and your loved ones, and sooner is better than later. The distinguished presenters that we bring together in this room today and tomorrow, while approaching these issues from many different perspectives, different experiences, and different professional and personal backgrounds, support our shared goal to advance the science of caregiving in support of caregivers and their loved ones. We thank you all very much for being here, and we're looking forward to a very exciting 2 days in which we will have opportunities, we will listen to prepared talks, we will also have opportunities to have discussions. We are the first to use these new chairs, as it turns out, so we expect great things of you, but we're looking forward to that discussion that will be robust, including the audience, so that we can, as a result of these discussions, move forward with some very cutting-edge ideas and innovative ideas about where do we go from here and how do we move forward to improve the situation so that we, in fact, can make a difference in the lives of those people who are so important to us personally and professionally to move forward and improve the situation. So I see our speaker, our keynote speaker has just arrived, having made it through the rigors of the security process. We're very pleased to have her with us today. We are honored to have Judy Woodruff as our keynote speaker for today's event. Larry Tabak was just called away to a meeting downtown and sends his best wishes for a productive summit and wants also to thank all of you for joining us today to discuss the science of caregiving. So it is my great pleasure to introduce Judy Woodruff to you today. To be honest, she really requires little or no introduction. Anyone that has a television set or a newspaper probably, as I do, has her picture, the recent article on the sofa from the Washington Post. But we're just delighted that she can be with us. Judy Woodruff is an anchor and managing editor for the PBS NewsHour. She has covered politics and other news for more than 3 decades at CNN, NBC, and PBS. She and her husband, Bloomberg View columnist Al Hunt, are the parents of 3 children, the oldest of whom, Jeffrey, was born with spina bifida. Jeffrey's condition, complicated by an injury he received as a teenager, led them to become not only active caregivers for him, but passionate advocates for individuals with disabilities and the caregivers in their lives. Ms. Woodruff and Mr. Hunt helped to raise over $1 million for the Spina Bifida Association and remain dedicated to raising awareness of the critical role that men and women who care for others play in our society. Judy Woodruff is a graduate of Duke University, where she is a trustee emerita. She's also the recipient of the Cine Lifetime Achievement Award, the Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award in Broadcast Journalism and Television.